How's it going, everybody? Mythical Family back with another actual playtest with a local production group that we're going to be going through some of the content for a Kickstarter they have live right now. We will let Matt from WitchPleas introduce who his company is and what they're putting together here in just a moment. We don't have any big Mythical Family news. We've been on hiatus for a while, but we are going to be coming back as much as we can. We want to get our momentum back, and we're going to be doing some studio upgrades and whatnot. So things are good. We've had a lot of what I've been calling tower energy for the beginning of the year, and we're finally through that. So things are on the upswing, which is great. So expect to see more from us, and we're really enjoying the opportunities we've had to connect with local creators and try to support them as much as we can. It's something that we're really passionate about, more so than just playing our games and sharing them with you. It's really nice to be able to engage with the creativity that's in the gaming community and try to help other people see it and find it. We're going to be going through a scenario with Matt today for Dungeon Crawl Classics is the system, which is going to be pretty awesome, actually. Half of us are new to the system. Thankfully, we've got 3 veterans, one at the helm of the system, so they're going to help guide us through it. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and DCC is a great system. I've heard of a lot of good about it, and there's several things that I understand about it that I like quite a bit. So it's going to be really fun for me to get to actually play the system for the first time. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Matt and let him explain who you're representing, explain your Kickstarter, and then let everybody know what we're going to be doing today.
Well, thank you, Joe. So I am Matt Funk. I am the co-founder of WitchPleas Publishing. WitchPleas Publishing being a publishing company that furthers education through gaming and fosters the role of gaming in education. Our inaugural adventure path was written by yours truly. I'm on the cover as MC Funk, and it's concluding with a 4th level adventure for DCC, as we mentioned, called Feast of the Goblin Winter, where the Tale of Two Sisters campaign is going to come to a conclusion. I'm honored to be not only invited by Mythical Family, but here with some of the core creators of Big Sword, Gage and Phil. And right now, tonight, we're going to be diving into, as I say, the fate of a lot of the story that's been built up over the last year through A Tale of Two Sisters. It's available now on Kickstarter as the Goblin Holiday Bundle. Included in that bundle are Feast of the Goblin Winter, which is what we're doing tonight, as well as Hunters of the Goblin Grove, which comes right before these. These are not just exciting modules that test the boundaries of what DCC is capable of. They also have a lot of campaign setting material in them. Hunters of the Goblin Grove has a rich atmosphere defined by a lot of backstory and random tables centered around designing a forest or a wilderness location. And Feast of the Goblin Winter, the one we're playing tonight, has a lot of information around crafting a village, in particular this archetypical village of Thorpe, where the dramatic events tonight are going to be taking place. Also available is a limited edition cover by Stephen Pogue of Feast of the Goblin Winter. It's only going to run for these Kickstarter offers. It's only going to be available during this time. And so we encourage any collectors to go out there and get this alternate Pogue cover. It also comes with a mini adventure that's connected with the events in Feast of the Goblin Winter, only available in that particular edition. And for those dice goblins out there, we are going to have custom dice, gem dice, centered around the Tale of Two Sisters. So, what is Feast of the Goblin Winter? Well, Feast of the Goblin Winter is the 5th and final chapter of our premier adventure path, A Tale of Two Sisters. It takes place 7 years after the first adventure, Champions of the Goblin Market, when the midsummer invasion of the Goblin Market by adventurers led to escalating conflict between the civilization of the frontier and the Shadow Kingdom of the Pit Reaver clan of goblins. Now, in the snows of Yule's 12th night, a reckoning has arrived. A Tale of Two Sisters is woven from the European canon of folklore, legendary, and literature, and has culminated in this confrontation with the darkest spirits of that tradition, those of winter. So, part of our Legends of Lore series from WitchPleas Publishing, Feast of the Goblin Winter, A Tale of Two Sisters, and these other lore adventures are designed to inspire, entertain, and also educate DCC players and judges. So let us see who is involved in these dramatic events. Let's start off with Gage introducing your character.
I am playing Edor Swirl. Once a slave, I am now a proper thaumaturgist, a wizard who follows the great patron of Cesricon, and I'm guided by an orb gifted to me by Cesricon. Cesricon's orb, you know, very great naming scheme, I know. But I have been guided here to, well, I'll keep that a secret.
I'll be playing Till McCloud today. I'm a thief jester. I use my tricks and my magic to sort of trick those around me to find my way through both their things and their lifestyles. So I am a tricky, sort of backstabby, chaotic clown.
Very good. And Joe, how about your treacherous thief?
I'm playing Dangon Melis today, and actually from a town smaller than this. Grew up and the horizon looked to be day in, day out, taking care of other people's animals at an inn. As a former ostler at an inn, stumbled across an opportunity to accompany some of these reckless adventurers that travel around the land, and took to it rather quickly. Dangon really loves the adrenaline of getting out and not necessarily brushing people's horses for tips. It's something he can always fall back on to make sure that he's got a roof over his head or whatnot. But yeah, he's been embracing the adventurer life for the past several months, and the folks he's been traveling with were headed home for the Yule season, and I'm not in any rush to get home. I'm going to spend some of my spoils. I'm going to hang out here. There's a Yule festival coming up in this nice little town. Maybe some other folks will come through that I can ride out with and delay going home even further. But for right now, catching my breath and enjoying not having to go home.
Excellent. Enjoying that holiday vibe. Well, speaking of people who celebrate the holidays, Phil, tell us about your character.
I no longer use my name. I go simply as the Woodsman. When I was very young, I used to be friends with a bear, believe it or not, and my father, in his rage, killed it. Without thinking, I picked up a branch off the ground and stabbed him. And when I opened my eyes, I was no longer holding a branch in my hand, but a brilliant longsword. And since then, I've held Diamond Art very close and become sort of a ranger and helped enhance my faith with the druids, such as the head druid Thorpe, who tasked me with finding a white rabbit with blue eyes, which is a very holy symbol for the Yule festival. And I already brought it and delivered it, but Thorpe insisted I stay for the festivities, so I'm hanging out and helping where I can while I wait for the finale. And I also wear armor that's made from the ethically sourced, discarded exoskeleton of a giant scorpion.
Ethically sourced. Well, the man to your right is no stranger to swords. Go ahead and take it away.
So I'm James, and I'll be playing Dagor Appleman today, and I'm actually excited. I got this a copy of DCC at RageCon 2023, and I get to open it for the first time here in front of everybody. Dagor is a costermonger, so I have this, I found this special orchard of these rare apples. And I'm the only one that can get to them, and it's kind of there's like creatures and things I have to fight, so I had to learn how to protect myself, and it's like how I make my way, and I'm kind of known throughout the land for these rare apples, and because of this big festival, I am bringing them for my sharing my part of what I can do to make the festival as good as it can be.
Well, that gift is well received indeed. We do love our apples here in Thorpe. Now, with that said, I'm going to dive right into the adventure, folks. And for those of you who are watching, not just for entertainment, but just to check out what the Goblin Holiday Bundle, now available on Kickstarter, is all about, I'm going to be doing a lot of the reading directly from the text of Feast the Goblin Winter, so you potential judges out there can get a sense of what the vibe is. And so we begin with our player background, and I say, good wassail to you on this most mirthful occasion. Winter is here, and with it, Yule festivities to stave off the starless nights and biting frost. Few of these fests are as charming as those in the frontier town of Thorpe, a crossroads where settlements from woods, hill, and river countries gather at a sacred grove to celebrate. Golden mead, blazing timber, and ribboned wreaths delight these carousing crowds, of which you are among, especially at the famed Darling Damsel Inn. Known for its delicious fare and delightful performers, it's here that the celebration is in fullest swing, and here that you have gathered on Yule's climactic 12th night, where countless candle flames beat the darkness back from the window panes, and the music sweeps away the hours of the night. And so I would ask you, how are you spending these hours of the night here at the Inn of the Darling Damsel?
Well, I think I'm going to sit by the fire, ponder my orb, maybe partake of my jawbreaker a bit, nice, relaxing night, but I'll be keeping an eye on Kylie, one of the local huntresses, as she comes and goes.
Indeed, and she is by the fire, on the opposite side of the large hearth from yourself. And though the madding crowds mill about, dancing, celebrating, carousing in a general sense, Kylie is not among them. She sits, a stoic sentinel, surveying the crowd, her bow close at hand, her cloak drawn about her despite the roaring fire that heats you both. Now, how about yourself, Castle?
Well, I like to kind of explore the town. I like, kind of get a center of attention in a square or a circle or the main plaza, if I may say so. Kind of getting a sense of how I can trick or say fool those around me into giving me a little coin, and finding out the darker secrets of the area.
Well, those secrets are being whispered in the Darling Damsel, so you are in luck. And much the crowd is convening there, ready to enjoy some of the main dishes. And we'll get into the selection of the main dishes soon. But Joe, what is your ostler up to? Former ostler, recovering ostler.
Recovering ostler, that's right. Feet up on the stage, mug of ale in my hand, watching my friend entertain the crowd, and just occasionally throwing a peanut to try to throw her off a little bit, and waiting to just sit and laugh with her between sets.
Well, her fingers, and we refer to Zilla, the minstrel who resides at the Darling Damsel Inn, do not trip over their lute strings, no matter how many peanuts you barrage her with. She plays away, inspiring the crowd that's gathered around a large table close to the hearth, where our servant of Cesarcan sits. At the head of this long table is seated the Lord of Misrule, and this year the Lord is a lady. She's a young red-haired woman dressed in a white jester's hat and a costume of red, blue, and yellow stripes. Before her, the tables are almost sagging with 25 dishes that have just been brought from the kitchen by the serving staff and by the owner of the Darling Damsel Inn, Hob Kingsley himself. We'll go into the selection of those dishes shortly, but Phil, are you close to sample those dishes? Where is the woodsman?
I figure I'm not used to such loud nor crowded environments. So I would, give the customary greeting to the leader at the head of the table, and probably just sort of retire to wherever is a little bit less conspicuous to sit.
Good. Well, you, unlike most of the player characters here, are aware of the name of that lady of misrule, Breda, and she gives you a rather nervous nod. Why is she nervous? Perhaps you know, or none others do, not yet. But she has little appetite to eat, it seems. At the table, the dishes have all been set, steaming. Dagor, how about yourself? Are you retired away to the eaves.
I was seeking out Bjorn to celebrate my successful delivery for the festival, and being that Bjorn is one of the few people I really kind of know here, and feeling a little out of sorts. I'm not the most social person in the world. I would probably be looking for Bjorn and kind of sticking close to him for now.
Well, he is sticking close to many people in Thorpe. He's a popular fellow. He refers to Bjorngar Fuller, who is the town rutabaga farmer. Actually, he's not limited simply to rutabagas. All root vegetables are under his domain, and he is seated at the table and he is eating some of the dishes. Those dishes include kid, rabbit, mutton, venison, beef, and of course the signature of the Yule feast, a whole roasted boar head, rimmed with red apples and nestled in a bed of rosemary and thyme. Behind its eyes made of prune, within its muzzle wrapped in willow and rush, it is packed with spiced and savory meat called brawn. Does anybody sample the churned savory meat from the boar's head?
Oh yes.
You're in a good position to do it. You dig right in.
Right. Yep. Not gonna be shy.
And you do so in the Thorpe fashion with your fingers, or did you bring some sort of other implement?
I'll take a quick kind of look around because I'm not really from the area, and see what everyone else is doing, and just when in.
They're simply rolling up their sleeves and getting into that boar's head.
Let's get into it.
All right, in you go. It is delicious. The reviews of the Darling Damsel are not to be exaggerated. It is very good. Is anybody else dining at this point?
I would also definitely take a plate, since it would be highly rude of me to let an animal's body go wasted, potentially.
Absolutely, but between attempts to throw Zilla off, I'm definitely going to be eating all evening.
Excellent.
Does Kylie get up?
She does not.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much, and I'm more partial to sweets. I mean, I'm gonna stay in my seat.
Yeah.
I'll snack on my jawbreaker. Maybe I'll make some more candy later.
You detect that Kylie is not particularly relaxed on this evening, but she gives off the air of somebody who has frost instead of marrow. She is a very chill character, whereas you notice, as Phil did, that the Lady of Misrule, who's decked out in the garb of Yule, is looking rather uncharacteristically tense, shall we say. How about yourself?
After performing for a while, I'm feeling quite hungry myself. I think I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna. What kind of chairs do they have in here?
So they have long benches at the serving tables that are in the Great Hall, and that is where our servants of Cesarcan, the woodsman, Dagor, and the ostler all are. There's also an area off with private tables if you wish to have a single seat. What do you feel like?
I think I'm going to bring one of the chairs from the single seats over and kind of flip it around and take a little gander at what we got on the table.
All right. Well, with hardly the sound of wood on scraping wood, you lift over a chair, you set it down, and unaware, or rather unnoticed by everybody else, you settle into your seat. It is then that you witness the doors fling open to the inn, and in comes a procession of mummers. These are costumed dancers. They are garbed in tall bundles of sticks over their faces and heads, others with leaves or flowers veiling their features, and still others with ghastly, grotesque, and distorted masks representing animals or spirits. They are led by Uhtred Thorn, Thorpe's High Druid, and a man well known to the woodsman over here. He leads the procession with a sickle in each hand, and his face is half painted, one side white, one side black, while an assortment of these mummers wearing their various animal masks lead a trio who are carrying the waving model of a giant boar. And so they tilt this paper mache boar here and about, and they start menacing the various people in the audience, making their way to the great hall where all of the members of Thorpe's community just tremble with excitement. Some cheer. What do?
As the boar's head comes near, I play it up. So when it comes at me, and I'll just fall out of my chair.
Okay, very good. Leading to laughter, somebody claps you on the back and gives you a flagon full of wassail, which, by the way, is basically applesauce and ale. Does anybody else play with the boar in the mummer's dance?
I'm going to draw my sword like I'm getting ready to fight it, and then I'm going to shriek back and hide under the table.
Very good. And once again, the crowd roared their merriment at your performance.
I feel like I would just be like, this would be like when people sing happy birthday to you in a restaurant. I would like not know what to do and just like squirm in my seat and be like, please don't come near.
Yes, these mummers' rites were always a bit fanciful and flamboyant for a serious figure like the woodsman. You take nature worship very solemnly. But the rest of the people here are having a good time, mostly because they're 3 sheets to the wind on the wassail. Do you do anything?
I make my way over to the persona that is sitting in the corner quite dreadedly and kind of draw attention to us. As I can tell that he's kind of trying to slip into the shadows a little bit. Unfortunately, I like to find that I can draw kind of a crowd. So with me in the group, you're gonna find that the shadows are not liking us very much, even though I come off as a thief.
Are these like the first? Is this the first thing you've ever said to me?
Pretty much.
I'll just be like, great, I'm the woodsman. What, and your name is?
Till McLeod,
Oh,
also known as Till McLeod to those that don't know me.
and a happy wassail to you.
Happy Wassel.
Yes, Bill McLeod, icebreaker extraordinaire, making friends wherever he goes. And certainly, those who have interacted with the board, and me making friends in just a second. But what is our servant, the Sersican, doing? You may note, by the way, that Kylie has finally moved. You used the term begrudgingly. She begrudgingly lifts herself from the hearth and begins to dance about, as that is part of her job here at the Darling Damsel. She sort of trails around the mummers' crowd, circling in a desultory way. What do you do?
I would keep an eye on her. I mean, I might follow her if she gets out of sight, but more importantly, this is not something I have any experience for. I don't think I'd be nearly as nervous as the woodsman, but I would probably just have a blank, dead stare, as this is just not something my character really knows how to interact with. It's not the kind of thing they usually do.
No, you come from a more sedate social set.
Yeah, or sedate in general.
Quite. But those of you who have interacted with the mummers find that Uhtred Thorn, the druid, comes over with a big squall of his skirts and he slaps you on the back of my ostler thief, and over to you, Dagor, and he gives you a pat on the back and goes, up, we must fight it. We must bring down the Moor, Sigil Drari.
I'll
Yep.
chug,
Slap.
and then that's what I'm going to fight with. I need something to fight with, so I clear it. I clear the mug.
Fine weapon to fight the spirits of Yule with.
I
What do
pull
you
out
do?
2 ginormous apples. I'm ready.
Excellent. Well, that really gets the crowd clapping. The old expression, apple of somebody's eye, you certainly are, because their eyes twinkle as they see those magic apples come out. And they all part ways, and they let you come at the boar, and the villagers leading the boar tilt it back and forth and make it snort. And they approach you. What do you do?
So I'm pretending to sort of mesmerize it with my apples. And then what I'm going to do is when I've sort of got its gaze, I'm going to toss them into the air. And while it's looking, I'm going to rush towards it and sort of grab it by the head and pretend that I'm taking it to the ground.
Fabulous. All right. Well, you grapple with the boar and you're bringing it down. And you could see that from one of the back halls of the Darling Damsel Inn, there was a mummer approaching. He's dressed in this great mask of green fronds, holly, and ivy, and a robe of it as well. And he sees you already taking down the boar and realizes you're kind of doing his job for him. And so he skulks off and watches and claps and stomps with the rest of the villagers as you are the hero of the moment, Dagor, and you wrestle down the boar. They actually seem to be quite right with this. And down to the ground of the Darling Damsel Inn, amid all the sawdust and beer stains, you go. And it's at that point the crowd cheers. And from the mummers, they start flinging what look to be slippers. Slippers made out of wheat or some sort of sweet corn. Does anybody try and catch a slipper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see one hand up there, another over there. Hands all around. Even the fellow by the wall.
It sounds sweet. I got a sweet tooth. The one weakness I have.
Well, you have finally caved in and gotten into the spirit of things instead of the spirit of Cezarcon.
Only so long.
You will be rewarded with a roll of a D30. One of
Oh.
those awesome DCC dice that we cannot roll enough. So
As Cezarcon wills it.
Does everyone roll or just him?
everyone will roll. If you want to get ahead of the group, by all means
11.
do. An 11. Okay, it's the slipper that you catch is indeed made out of delicious sweet buckwheat, but inside it, you see there is something stuffed. My goodness, it is a handcrafted wooden box of some sort.
Okay.
Do you open it?
Yeah.
Okay, and you creak open its little hinges, and inside you see it's a miniature board game. It's that classic board game, Nine Men's Morris.
Of
Separated
course.
among the cities of the First Kingdom. So
What a
now you have a
classic.
tiny board game.
Great.
How about yourself?
Roll 24.
A 24. Okay, a 24 finds within your slipper a small clay lamp. Very useful. It's got little decorations of holly and ivy in it to celebrate the season. How about yourself, Joe?
19.
19. So 19, my goodness, yours is a very stuffed slipper. It's got a box in it, much like in the case of our wizard over here. But within the box, you see that if you open it, you can hear little gears turning. You want to open it?
I will fiddle with it and try to, yes.
Okay, you fiddle with it, and as you open it up, you notice it's got a little crank on the side. It's a music box. Do you wish to play it?
I'm going to wait for the moment because there's a lot of commotion right now, and I'm
Yeah.
not entirely sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Some mystery music.
And what did the woodsman end up?
11.
11. All right, so you have in there, you guessed it, a miniature board game. Never bored on the road anymore, Woodsman. You can play Nine Men's Morris with whoever you come across.
All right.
How about yourself?
I got an 8.
An 8. An 8 is, oh my goodness. So it is a small ball. You want to, it seems to be out of some sort of like lumpy, waxy material.
Okay. I don't recognize it, but it's just.
Well, actually, why don't you give me, let's see, Dagor, you are a man about town. You've traveled to many towns. Why don't you give me a trained intelligence check? So that, just so the folks at home know, a trained check in DCC is a D20 roll as opposed to an untrained check, which is a D10 roll. So a D20 plus whatever your intelligence
Would it be
modifier.
+1? Got a 19.
19, my goodness. You're well acquainted with these for reasons that you can tell me about later. This is a pomander. It is a small, fragrant ball used to ward off unpleasant smells. It's on a tiny little thread.
Oh.
So if ever you come across an unpleasant smell, you just take a sniff of your pomander and you're all set.
Do I have a pocket I can maybe keep that in somewhere that's
I will
handy?
not begrudge you a pocket. The pocket you have.
That's
So
where I'll
into
put
the
it.
pocket goes the pomander. All right. So everybody is just kind of cheering at this point. They're tearing apart the boar in a rather ceremonial way. Other people are tearing into the actual boar's head, and they're pretty much at the end of that dish. Things are kind of winding down a bit. Meanwhile, things pick up again around the hearth because Zilla, the mummer's dance done, begins to strum her lute again and starts to sing a Yule song. Where does everybody go off to? As they say, there's the Great Hall, which is pretty much where you've been. There are those private tables. There's a bar in between the two of them. We'll go first to our servant of Cezarcan.
Did I see you get that orb of waxy substances?
Oh, yeah.
If I saw that, would you mind trading me my copy of Nine Men's Morris for that? I've got a penchant for orbs.
Oh, Well, can you teach me how to play it first? I've never played the game before.
Do I know how to play Nine Men's Morris?
Why, yes, you do.
Then
Now,
sure.
granted, these are not pages that I printed out because I did not expect anybody to want to play a game of Nine Men's Morris. But if you want to, the rules for how you play Nine Men's Morris, an entire game of it, in a tabletop role-playing game, are in Feast of the Goblin Winter. I kid you not.
That's awesome.
Let us, right now, just leave it up to a luck check. So,
Okay.
how we're going to do this is you are going to roll under your luck. The one that rolls closest to their own luck wins.
So D10 when it's unskilled, right?
So, well, this is going to be a D20.
Because it's luck. I mean, how can you be improficient at luck? Or how can you be trained in luck?
Well,
You'd be
12.
surprised.
So there you go. He's got the story.
Yeah, no, I rolled a 15. So
got a 12.
you won the 9 men's.
Oh, it's the lower number.
Yeah.
Or it's just it's whatever's closer
is
to
your
your luck.
It was 10, so it was a 0 modifier, and I
Then,
rolled
yeah.
a 12.
So you rolled over your luck. You failed the luck check.
I completely failed.
And you completely
Because I
failed
also
the
have a
check.
10 luck.
Worse than him. So you both play a terrible game of Nine Men's Morris. And you emerge the victor.
Yeah, so I know it enough. So here you go. Thank you for the game.
Okay, that's great.
There
That's
you
great.
go.
I'm gonna polish it up, make sure it's always orb-like. It's just the perfect shape.
May I suggest next time put a little heat under your die? That way you can weight it.
So the pomander, just so you know, smells like frankincense.
Oh,
It's
perfect.
a classic. Goes with everything, right?
Yeah.
For those of you not engrossed in a miniature board game, what are you doing?
I am going to wander off to a somewhat quiet place for just a few moments because I want to hear the tune from the music box. So just down a hallway for a moment. But I'm going to come back after I've discovered the ditty from this new trinket and get another drink. And I'm going to wait for Zilla to be done. And again, just kibitz and cheer and throw random requests and basically just be the annoying friend of the band, basically.
Fabulous. Never not welcome, right? Well, you are heading down to the quiet spot, passing by some windows. You may discover more than what's in that music box, but we first want to go to the woodsman. What are you doing?
So Thorn just came in, right?
Thorn is in, yes. And given that he's done leading the mummers procession, he's kind of just rubbing elbows with people, saying hello and whatnot, grabbing a little spoonful of button-aid for the road, that kind of thing.
Okay, well, he's like one of the few people in this town that I like sort of know and kind of like. So I'll say hi and just like ask if he needs help with anything.
Well said. Okay. Well, he looks at you, his eyes light up even more, and he says, Woodsman, you bless us with your presence and with the gift of the blue-eyed white rabbit. So fine to see you. So fine to see you here. Yes, we would like you very much at the Grove tonight at the hour of 1, 11 minutes after the hour of 1. If you can read the stars so precisely, we would have you there tonight to see the Lord of Misrule on their way.
11 minutes after midnight?
11 minutes after 1.
Oh. It would be my honor.
Yes. And if you could keep an eye on her, he says, gesturing over to where Brita sits, or rather, used to sit. She's no longer there. She seems to have slipped out during the festivities. And you can see that even under his painted face, he gets a little pale. Where did she go?
Can I... So I... So I didn't, just to clarify, I didn't see
No.
where they went.
No.
Okay.
No. You saw where she went. At least nobody here.
I could cast Second Sight and narrow it down.
Yes, you could, because if we don't find her, he says with a slightly sweaty palm raised up and trembling, who knows what will happen if they are denied their promise.
Indeed. Okay, how about I just say, because second, do you know the spell Second Sight?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a yes or no question. So I could say like, go north, like search for her north. That would narrow it down to essentially a 50-50. Unless he has a better idea.
He says, I rely on your veteran adventuring talents. It's been a while since I've called upon the spirits in so bold a way.
Excellent.
Whatever you feel pleases them best, my friend.
Okay, well then I will cast Second Sight.
Indeed you will. And just so you know, the casting time on that is a full turn, so that's around 10 minutes. So you can either do so where you stand, which is kind of off to the side in the Great Hall, or find a more secluded location, much like our Austin was looking for.
Yeah. Could I have like? Does Swirl look like a wizard?
Does Swirl look like a wizard?
Swirl looks very odd, much as a wizard might. We'll just say colorful clothes
Okay.
that are different than the festivities
Correct.
clothes. Very, very androgynous appearance.
The most colorful of a
And an
Okay.
orb that never leaves their hand.
All right. I would probably have some notion that orbs are associated with divination, which would be helpful.
Yeah.
I will tap on Swirl's before I start like the long 10-minute
Yes.
casting. I'll tap on Swirl's shoulder and say, discretion would be advised, but it appears that the Lady of Misrule has disappeared. She could be captured. Goblins are known to try and capture the Lady of Misrule before the thing. It's almost a tradition for them. Do you have any way of any help could be appreciated?
As it happens, I also have an orb that may cast Second Sight. So I can also provide perhaps an avenue of search. Of course, it comes at a cost. So I would only relish to do so under some kind of, I don't know, perhaps a reward of some kind. Have you any orbs of your own? At this point, you probably have noticed that Swirl is also bald with a head much like an orb.
That's unpolished.
And as we contemplate orbs, I would note that Icebreaker, you were right by him. So you're pretty much hearing this conversation, unless choosing to do otherwise. What would you like to do?
I'd like to try and figure out write down any important information that may help us in the future of a quote-unquote mission or a quest that we might need. In the middle of this conversation, while I am still paying attention to it, I would also like to keep my ear open for any passing quotes or any misguided information that someone may leak out in a close-by conversation.
Well, how wonderful. I did not hire him to say this, but there is indeed a rumor table, just in case people want to know what's going on according to the crowd. And so we roll on that, and we receive, let's see here, you hear that what this whole trouble, the missing Lady of Misrule, as which people are starting to pick up on, is probably the responsibility of the local ostler. No, not that ostler, the local ostler. This is Jolene Mankin, and they're whispering among them and say, "That Jolene, she's always shacking up with other people's husbands, always causing trouble, breaking homes. No doubt she stole away this Lord of Misrule because she knows that if the Lord of Misrule is given to the spirits, well, she'll be run out of town because we'll be done with her kinds of sins and transgressions."
I would like to pass on this information. I'm going to interrupt your guys' conversation.
Talking orbs.
Yes, here comes talking orbs. And I'm going to pass along the information that you were just giving us. Saying that, sorry, can you repeat?
Yes. So, in short, that the disappearance of the Lady of Misrule is due to Jolene Mankin. And why would Jolene, the local ostler, do this? It's because she is always shacking up with somebody else's husband or beau. And if the Lord of Misrule were given to the spirits, which purges the community of evil doings, no doubt she will be purged as well.
Okay, I'm going to go find this Mrs. Bow and start up a little conversation with her, basically saying, "No, I've heard rumors or passing alongs that a certain fella might be shacking up with another certain missus in the town. Do you know anything about that? I know I'm new here, but it sounds like it might be the hot topic of the town.
Okay, so you figure that a good source of this information might be the innkeeper himself. You could ask him, or you could just kind of ask around for where Jolene's at.
I think I'm going to start with the innkeeper and then
Good.
continue from there.
Good place to start. So he is filling up yet another bowl of wassail. You're heading towards him. We'll get back to the orb discussion in a moment. Joe, if you could, indeed, you start turning that crank. But first, roll them dice. Give me a trained intelligence check, though. So that's a D20 modified by your intelligence.
Okay, no modifier. 4.
4. Okay. So you're mostly paying attention to the old music box. You start turning it. It's that lively Yule tune, Stefan was a stable boy. So the tunes of Stefan was the stable boy start cranking out, and you can't help but feel like tapping your foot a little bit. Whether you do or you don't, it's up to you. But yeah, you have a well-made music box which plays Stefan was a stable boy.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you don't hear or see anything else of note. Orbs.
I'm gonna ask if you would like a pretty orb or a heavy orb.
I like the heft of a heavy orb.
Okay.
I already have a couple pretty orbs. I gesture to my head and my eyes.
Did you actually bother trading the board game, or did you just give him the orb?
We traded,
We
so he's got
traded.
the orb and I've got the board
I've
game.
got an orb of pretty smelling wax.
Okay, well, whatever. It'll still work. I assume my mini board game is made out of wooden pieces.
It is, yes.
Okay, then I'm going to use wood weirding and try and, which is like you can just change the shape of wood, wooden objects. So I'm going to make it a sphere, obviously, and then just use wood weirding to like try and compress it as small as possible.
Excellent. All right. Roll away.
8 plus 5, 13.
Oh, that's close.
Damn it. That is one too low.
You could spend the luck on it. Never spend worlds-changing luck on,
What am I one?
Reshaping a board game.
or you're a cleric, you can just try again.
Yeah, nah.
We're all just living in a board game.
Close enough.
They shape it right, and you can see what the pieces
Now,
were.
James, you are witnessing a lot of this as well. You also witness that a lot of people in the crowd keep on looking at you, whispering and smiling. What you do with that information is up to you. What do you do with that information?
So now that I've had that little moment with the festivities, I'm looking for Bjorn again. Kind of, because like that's kind of the only person I really know. So I probably would be sticking close with him and just sort of like, you know, just trying to mingle with whomever he's talking with at any given moment.
Quite. Well, you go over to Bjorn Gar, and he is usually a ruddy fellow. He goes even ruddier, and he raises his pudgy hand and says, "Ah, the hero of the Yule feast!" And his large family around him also raise their hands and cheer out, and some clap, and they say, "Come, come! You slew the boar! Let us lift you upon our shoulders and fill you a drink until you can't stand straight."
How could I say no?
How could you say that?
So I will join in the whatever they want to do with me. I'm just along for the ride.
They said exactly what they do. They lift you up upon their shoulders of the most popular family in town, start marching you around the Darling Damsel Inn while handing you flagons that are just tipping over with ale.
And I'll do my best to imbibe like sloppily so that I'm maybe getting about half of it, because if I'm getting multiple ones, I don't want to get too crazy, but I want to be as participatory as possible with that.
You share the wealth, and some people open their mouths and most people close their eyes, and the ale splashes everywhere, and they're having a grand old time with Dagon on their shoulders. Icebreaker, what are you doing?
I'm going to try to get a little bit more information from this innkeeper. As I do it, I'm going to kind of try to spread the love of the knowledge of this Mrs. Bow.
Mrs. Mankin.
Mrs. Mankin.
Ms. Mankin, I should say. She's a home wrecker. She does not have a home per se herself.
My apologies.
Yeah, quite all right. Not the worst thing said.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
As this information is spreading around, I'm also just going to kind of try to get maybe a specific location of where her last victim or last like partner.
Willing victim, yes.
Yes.
Last home wrecked.
Yeah, last home wreck was or who was involved.
All right. So, how would you phrase this?
Yo, where you're not getting to the innkeeper?
Yes, you certainly know how to make an introduction. We have established that. So, how do you speak to all?
You know, I'm hearing all this drama about you said Miss Mannequin?
Mankin.
Mannequin.
Yes, Jolene Mankin.
About Jolene Mankin, and you know, I come from a background of I would entertain and have to keep secrets of some may say royal families. So I have a history of knowledge and fancy betrayals.
Yeah. He's kind of hearing you out. He's pouring the ale slower so as not to interrupt you. Yes, yes. Smiles through his bushy black beard.
Yeah. So what do you know about this situation or this dealings of broken hearts and broken homes?
He says, do you mean the war? How it's made orphans? I have been to the pub with my son, and I have tales to tell you. But please say, the drink is on me, and I will tell you.
Thank you.
Once I faced, and he begins to go into a long story, which we'll get to in a moment. Joe, what are you doing? There's only so many times you can listen to Stefan's the Stable Boy.
Yeah. Once I know what the tune is and enjoy it for a little bit and hear it, because hey, Stefan was a Sable Boy.
Yes,
so
he
was
is.
Angon. So I head back and I continue to harass and watch and cheer for Zilla and enjoy the because the evening is about the festivities so far. So that's where I'm going to be.
And they're picking back up again. We got an exciting story being told at the bar. We also have the transformation, possibly, of a board game into a checkered ball. What do? You spending that luck?
Nah, I'm just gonna, after unsheathing Diamond Heart, bearing it over my head and be like,
my.
I command the sea and the leaf and beast. I bid you warp. And then just nothing happens. And I'll be like, okay, listen, I'll give you an even bigger orb. Just help me out, okay?
Okay,
after
fine.
this is done.
I will ponder my orb, but you owe me one. You owe me a very large orb and a very
right.
heavy orb. And then I'll
How about you? Yeah, how
my
about you
Thetracon's
ask?
orb.
How about you ask about searching west while
I
I
was
search north?
thinking the most productive thing here might be to have one of our second sites ponder what will happen if we do nothing at all and go on with the ritual. Like maybe she'll just appear. So that could be, I feel like that could be used, like confirm we need to go searching or that it would be, bad to not.
In the hypothetical scenario that we don't, we know, the only thing we risk is that doing nothing will solve our problem anyway. So what do we have to lose? What do we have to gain by doing that?
mean, we could mess up something by finding her. I don't know what, but it feels...
Note at this point, because of your dramatics, your eruption of druidic drama, the people are all paying attention. They clapped because they thought you were going to change wood into a bowl. They're listening into what's going on right here.
I have an orb.
Yes,
We will be pondering it, and it's many secrets in a moment.
they're fascinated. Now, Joe, you go over to Zilla. Zilla has lost her audience. They're going over and staring at Woodsman and Swirl. Do you want to just hang out? Do you want to?
I'm going to grab my chair and step up on stage and sit next to Zilla.
All right.
But I'm hoping that slightly elevated and whatnot, I can actually watch what's going on, just like everybody else in the room, but I'm going to hang out next to the person that I know.
Very good. Well, her face, painted like a playing card, just unfolds before you into a big smile. And she says, "Oh, so good to see you, my friend. Sit down, sit down." She pats the space. She goes, "The quiet times, they are pleasant, aren't they? At least in good company. Would you have a glass of wine with me?" "Sure." Okay, so she starts pouring a cup of wine. Why don't you give me another trained intelligence check?
14.
That's better. Okay, so you, being a man of keen senses, notice that outside the window, peering into the Great Hall, observing the crowd that is gathered around Swirl and Woodsman, and also watching Dagor be carried around the Great Hall for perhaps the 17th time, are two grotesque faces. These are faces that are smaller than human, but with their features exaggerated, jutting bones, protruding brow, a gnarled nose, sallow features. You may have seen the like of this before. Why don't you give me another trained intelligence check?
3.
All right. You've not seen the like before, but they do not seem human, and they seem, with their malevolent eyes burning, to be staring with some malign intent.
I'll just lean semi-discreetly toward Zilla, like, are those masks in the window? Is that part of the festivities?
She looks over in that broad smile, and she says, "Goblins! Goblins!
Actual goblins or like masked goblins?
Actual goblins! I was there! I was there 7 years ago! Their type, they were the ones that stole that Thistledown girl." And at that, as if hearing you, even though there's a large, loud crowd between you, the two faces scoot. They just run off, heading somewhere to the west.
I'll look at her for a moment and look at the wine. Are you certain?
She says in a shaky voice, "Yes, I'm certain."
Then I just yell. I stand up. Goblins! Goblins in the window! Goblins outside!
So the discussion of orbs and the merry procession is broken by the announcement of goblins outside. However, the innkeeper keeps on going. He's been going for a few minutes more. He says, "We dug in our heels. It's the rocks. And then you hear goblins from the other route. It's kind of faint because it's far away, but you do hear it. What do you want to do?
As everybody's distracted by the goblins, then he looks away. I'm gonna use my spraying shadows to be like, "I loved this conversation. Goblins!" And just disguise myself.
He gasps and you vanish. He would gasp again if he noticed, but he's mostly concerned about the price of goblins. What's going on in the Great Hall?
Well, the orbs inside the town, outside the town? Assuming we decide to continue casting. We might just want to go and see what's up with the goblins, because it is a 10-minute cast.
I mean, how about we just look outside first?
Yeah.
I'll if somebody points in a direction and screams goblins, I'm gonna look in, like, see what's over in that direction.
I'm gonna set the door.
You're low on your feet.
Yeah,
they
I'm
don't
not-
drop you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
They set you down. You're a hero. But then the waves part enough for Woodsman to stalk over to the window. Are you also going to look?
I'm focused on the orb. I'm locked in. I got an orb.
Okay, you got an orb.
If Dagor moves toward the door,
Oh, he most certainly does.
Yeah.
It's the window.
I'm not going to the door.
the door.
Someone said goblins and with outside.
He's
So
going.
I want to go outside and see if I can see where they're running off to.
Fabulous. All right.
I grab the iron rod, the truncheon that I usually defend myself in adventure with, and follow him as I did before with the
Okay,
giant
on the
boar.
trail of Dagor. How about the
long
man
as
of the
somebody else is
shadows?
going.
I'm gonna take my cloak, reach into it, and pull it aside and reveal a longbow.
My goodness. Well, you're concealed, so you reveal it only to yourself.
Oh yes.
Yes, exactly. You in the shadows are wearing a long bow is ready for action.
I would follow. I'd follow, but with the orb in hand.
Yes. Dividing your attention. It's kind of
He
a...
wants to be ready to start that 10-minute casting.
Any second. And Woodsman, are you going to the window or out the door with the rest?
I'll go to the door.
Fabulous. Okay, well, you open the door, Dagor, first there, and you are assailed by a familiar foe. It is the blasting winds of winter. You open those doors, and in rushes blizzard-like snow and whatnot. But you, Woodsman, and our good friend, the Ostler, can all give me trained intelligence checks. Roll away, please. D20 modified by your intelligence.
Oh, nice.
Oh, +1.
19.
I'm smart. 20.
Okay, very good.
13.
Well, how much?
13. I'm
13. All adequate to see, even though it is quite dark out there and occluded by these swirling snows. Those two diminutive figures hoofing it towards the western road. They are just bailing. One is looking over his shoulder, his oilcloth cloak flapping in the blizzard winds, and the other one is just booking ahead. He seems to be whispering something into his cloak. And so they're moving into area 2 here.
It's the farmland, right?
He's going after it. Yes, the
Okay.
farmland. Running to the farmland. Anybody else run to the farmland?
I'm gonna stay with Dagor. Are they? I've not seen these things before. Are they moving so swiftly that we don't think we're going to be able to catch them?
They're moving at pretty much your speed, which is a shorthand rules mechanic way of saying you're probably not going to catch them unless they slow down. But you won't lose sight of them if you continue at top speed.
Okay. Then I'll stick with.
Very good. So sprinting after them. Woodsman, what are you doing?
Are they within 50 feet of
They
me?
are not. They're about 80 feet away at this point.
Okay. I will follow.
Okay. These two are sprinting. Do you want to go expend your action die on moving, or are you going to go just top speed but reserve your action die?
I'm just sprinting.
Okay, so you two are rushing out there. How about yourself?
Keeping to the shadows, I will follow closely behind.
Very good.
Yeah, readying my bow for action.
Swiftly through the snow, the crushing flakes not making so much as a single crackle. You pursue them. And you,
I'm sprinting after the woodsman. He owes me an orb.
he does indeed. And so off into the darkness you rush. Now let's talk some about these wintry conditions. Rules mechanics wise, you're going to be at a bit of a penalty to your ranged attacks. You're going to be at -2. Because the snow is dense, you're -10 to movement. 10 feet, that is. And the visibility when you get outside of the town center is going to be considered total darkness. So you're going to have to bring some illumination with you. Which means, by the way, slowing down if you want to light something, because right now you're spending your action die moving rather than pulling out flint and tinder and so forth. Last but not least, even those that can see, your visibility is limited to around 80 feet because of the snows.
Okay.
All right, so you pursue them into area 2, the western road. So in this area, farmland that Swirl referred to, sorrow sounds out from the barns far to the south of this 20-foot wide road as corralled cows voice their woe and worry from the distant farm. Something is troubling the livestock, as they say. Thick trees reply with silence along this northern roadside, their dense rows crowding the choppy snowbanks that border the thoroughfare. And you see those goblins, they've rushed to about midway. They're right outside the Thistledown Dairy Farm. And they stop. And they bring their cloaks about themselves. You have a chance to engage. Again, they're about 80 feet away. They're on the periphery of your vision. But they're taking an action that isn't merely running. In fact, they're standing in the snow. Let us all roll initiative.
What do we roll for that?
So you're going to be rolling a d20, and I'm glad that you asked the question, James, because you're playing a warrior. Warriors get their level added towards their initiative. So you're going to be added plus
I think
4.
it already says.
Yeah, +4. Cool.
Excellent.
18.
18.
9.
I just rolled a natural 20.
Nice. Yep. Can confirm.
Fabulous. So 18, 9, natural 20,
4.
4, and 5. Okay, we have a natural order to things. As to what comes next, we will see in a moment as we're going to be taking a brief break. And we are back on the western road of Thorpe in the middle of a blizzard where 5 heroes have bravely pursued 2 goblin scouts. And upon seeing those scouts halt in their place and do something shady within their oilcloth cloaks, are now taking action. Castle, what is Till McLeod's action?
Currently, Till McLeod is sitting in the shadows waiting for an action of the goblins. He's kind of wondering what they're doing just standing there in the middle of an open field in the snow.
Okay, see, he's watching.
He's watching.
From the shadows, as Till is wont to do. Which brings us to Swirl. He who rolled the natural 20 and who I skipped. Go ahead.
I am ready, looking like a sorcerer. I'm going to lift up my orb, and as Cezricon wills, I'm going to spellburn, which first thing, as a follower of Cezricon, I need to figure out what he wants right now. And he really does. He's mocking my power, and I'm going to need to spend some extra spell burn to get the effect that I actually want. So I'm going to spell burn 4 points of strength, which will give me a +2 bonus on this spell, because that's really... This is a bad pencil. So that is not great, but I'm here. I'm still here, and I'm ready to actually properly cast. I'm going to be casting Charm Person. I'm not more than 120 feet from these goblins, right? I'm like within 80-ish.
80 feet.
That's what I figured. Okay. Let's see what I got. That's a natural 20 again.
Wow.
Which, that is 20 plus 2 plus 6. That's 28. So that's...
Damn.
Okay, that goblin is going to be very charmed. I actually need to pull up the next page to... Thick paper. Okay, I can actually target multiple creatures here, is how high this is. Let's see, 2d6 plus caster level. So
You should
4.
If you get 3 targets, you should target him too, just for the fun of it.
Yeah. Wait, honestly, I'm half tempted to hit the whole party. I mean, I'm gonna be friendly with you guys anyway. So 4, 7 plus 4. Okay. So I can target 11 creatures. So obviously 2 goblins and is anybody else around besides the
I
party?
mean, there are cows. You don't see them, but I will allow you to charm the cows.
Okay, so then 2 goblins. All of you guys. Can I charm myself?
You've charmed me.
Okay, and the DM and some cows. Everybody.
And the star-nosed mole 50
And the
feet below us.
mole beneath us. Everybody is currently charmed. I believe there's a save to that. So everybody, for Edor Swirl, will not perform any actions that are suicidal or a devoted friend would not otherwise perform. But, you guys are friendly to me. And there is a will save. So everybody should roll a will save against DC 28. So a lot of you probably don't need to roll.
Yeah.
Team building the
that's what I roll?
Cezricon way.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah, that's
building-
not higher than 28.
Especially because I got a -1.
Okay. And everybody is allowed to make another save. Let's see. If your intelligence is a 10 or 11, in 2 weeks. If it's above that, probably 1 week or less. If it's lower than that, 3 weeks. In any case, for the rest of the adventure, those 2 goblins and everybody else is very friendly with me.
Cool guy.
Yeah, cool guy.
I'm glad he's here.
As Cezricon wills.
So as you hold aloft one of your many orbs and you say, as Cezricon wills, almost even the clouds seem to pay attention to you. The snow slows a little bit, and those goblins certainly turn around and give you a pleased look on their hideous faces.
Other thing I remembered is my mercurial magic for this spell is St. Gygax Fire, so I am now glowing with faint flames for the next 2 rounds,
All right.
which covers my light.
And how wide is the illumination?
Let me pull up what I wrote for my mercurial magic here. Casting this spell results in being limned by flickering chartreuse fire for 1d4 rounds, in this case 2. So there is a +2 bonus to opponents to hit me That's important to note, actually. And it negates concealment and invisibility, but it does provide faint illumination to the area, so it's up to you. But it's faint. I imagine if it's pitch black, it's not super faint.
No, but everybody can see you.
Yeah, they can see me.
That's wonderful.
It's important. They need to know who their friend is.
Superstar.
And that faint chartreuse flicker permeates the snow, the banks of snow along the roadside, glints off the pine needles. The goblins are just standing there. You're no longer in combat, but I will keep those initiative rolls for later unless you want to roll again.
After being charmed like that and being able to see Edor again, I remembered why they called me the Woodsman.
So yeah,
Old head of his. Anyway,
I'll gesture for the goblins to come over
so
here.
the
I want their
goblins
story.
shuffle over. Does anybody take action, or you just...
And cloak.
Okay, you step out of the shadows.
Yeah, I'd be like, let's ask these goblins
All right.
the situation. What is going on, goblins? Fair, small creatures.
All right, they kind of crane up at you, and they're kind of huddled in these black oilcloth cloaks. And one of them goes, cracks a big smile, or a bigger smile, and says, "It's so good to have you here. You an honored guest on an honored night, a night where finally a reckoning will be had after many years. Please, please, why don't we sit and have some drinks? The army will be here soon, and we can just enjoy the show."
Oh.
So what army?
The army of Briarthorn, of course.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
How could I forget? How could I forget?
All the old scores about to be settled. All the new corruption cast out. Finally,
Yeah.
the wilderness, ours again. He knows what I'm talking about. He points to the woodsman.
And have you seen a young woman, red hair, about yay height?
So one of them's kind of opening a bottle for a moment, and they kind of like look at each other and chuckle at that. They go, "Ha, yeah, she ran off towards the keep."
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
They
Thank
pull
you.
out little silver glasses.
What was her name?
Oh, who am I to say?
The name.
Is that her name?
Her name.
Didn't catch it. Just young woman.
I think
Just like
it
a
would have been
tarot deck.
before.
Heading
Just like a
towards
tarot deck.
Her name's Britta, if you need to know.
Hey, that sounds about right.
But yeah,
He knows. I told you, he knows.
yeah.
Last name.
I don't know.
Start pouring the wine.
Okay,
So
well,
wait. I'm Edor's very close friend, so you can trust me too. Why? What were you doing just now at the inn?
So they lift up the cups, and each silver cup is between their fingers, brimming with wine, and he says, "Oh, we were supposed to lure you, you see, because of them." He kind of gestures with his head over his shoulder, and you can see these shapes, these shadowy shapes coming from the western road.
From that direction.
Yes, from this direction. Small, they move in this jerky, rapid kind of way.
Can I draw my crossbow?
I'm sure they may.
Oddly positive about all of this, but it doesn't seem good, does it?
He goes, "Yeah, we didn't realize you were friends of yourself. Now, yes, since we've learned better, we should just relax here while, the horde of winter just rips the town apart."
oh, of course.
Having a celebrity in town, I think that means,
Yeah, we should probably head back.
yeah.
But I will take some of that wine.
Yeah, I'll take one as well.
Of course.
Yeah, and
Bit of nasty goblin wine.
how big are these goblins?
They're about 3.5 feet tall.
We can, you just can't attack him.
I mean, do we got any things to make these little creatures a little bit less intimidating? I mean, they could be helpful.
I've
But
got a lamp.
But this time you hear kind of these rapid little crunching noises
Yeah,
of the figures, which are, again, they're close enough that you can see that they're humanoid and they're moving in this very jerky, rapid way.
Are they taller than the two yahoos we're talking to?
They are. So they're about 5.5 feet tall. Oddly enough, universally so. They seem to be all the same size.
They said Horde of Winter.
Yes.
Have I ever heard anything like that in my talks with Thorn or anything?
Give me a roll. An intelligence roll, please.
9.
Okay. So, yes, you have, in the sense that You've heard of the Horde of Winter, the hoary host. It is the concept of the most powerful winter spirits. So basically, if you think of like the gods of winter, that's the pantheon's name.
Okay.
Have these creatures, like, are they passing us right now, or are they still coming down?
They're still coming down. You talk about the herky jerky ones?
Yeah.
They're coming. When they get within 40 feet of you, lit by St. Gygax's fire, I'll give you a bit more of a description. Right now, you downed some goblin wine, right?
I'm gonna hang on to it for a moment.
Okay,
I'm
you
goblin.
downed some goblin wine.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a.
I'm gobbling some goblin wine. I'm
Give me
ready.
a nice little fort.
Oh, of course. What's a little goblin wine if you don't have to roll a fort? 10. No, 9. Not great.
So what this does is it's going to add +2 to your spellburn rolls.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Okay, there you go.
Take it.
And it tastes delicious. It's like a nice
Oh,
mulled
that's
wine.
good. That's
So his face doesn't get all screwed up or whatever.
it's just-
no, it's just wine.
None of him gets screwed up. He might smile. I know.
Oh yeah, I love this wine. This is good wine.
All
This is
right,
good wine.
I'll drink mine then.
Am I to assume, so these things don't look like they're coming, I mean, we're safe because we're with the goblins right now? I mean, these things that look like they're like like not really paying much attention to us at this, but they're just coming. They're just,
They're coming right for you, but I would couch that in the statement that you're standing in the middle of the road.
right.
So
And the goblins think we're safe. I don't know that
the goblins think you're safe.
the new people coming in are in on the conversation.
Yeah.
So,
It
Probably need
seems
to
like they want to destroy the town. So we have kind of a catch-22 where we can either defend the town so it won't get destroyed, or we can go get the Lady of Misrule so that the village won't be destroyed, just in another way.
How big is the village in like square feet?
So glad you asked. Our folks at home can't see this very crude map that I designed. However, every square is basically 60 feet. So
Okay.
we're talking basically all in all, I would estimate a few kilometers.
Couple thousand?
Yeah, a couple thousand.
Okay, okay. I think what I will do is I will once again raise my orb and I will say, as Cedricon wills it. And I'm going to attempt to spellburn and then cast Sequester, which will hopefully allow me to magically lock all of the nearby doors, windows, and place a couple traps, because I think that will really help in the defense of this village.
Let's see it. And as you cast that, I will describe what is coming down the road. These 12 figures are 5 feet of gangly, dilapidated wooden parts. They are rotting marionettes, and they're moving in rapid bursts of jerky motion. Each has a distinct painted features, which are peeling, and they have threadbare clothes sloughing from their creaking limbs, which end in sharp, pointed hands, or sometimes in sword blades.
You know, as a very obviously, seeing as that you're the leader of the group, a very charismatic person, you might be able to talk to them, these two lovely, gentle goblins, and communicate back to their team of
Yeah, yeah.
taller goblins.
So,
Those things are coming. You got it.
yeah, I mean, so on the note of my spellburn, Cedricon admires my ambition, and he grants me the opportunity to burn an ally's attributes. You know, their stamina, strength, or agility in place of my own. So, and the target must be willing. So I'm going to ask one of the goblins to step forward and lend me their aid
Fabulous.
as I grip one of their forehead. And does this grant me the ability to sense how much they have, or do I just guess?
You know what? I will say this much. They have at least 20 points.
Okay, then I will burn 20 points, which should hopefully be more than enough to get me a really good sequester result. So
Yes.
this will be plus 26.
1.
I rolled a 13.
Okay.
So
39.
let's see what we get. This is end
get?
table results.
This is why I'm your friend.
Exactly. See?
This is.
I love that one of the slots went to himself, though, too, for esteem. That's right.
Of course, of course.
Good to be confident.
Of course. So I. Doors and windows are magically sealed. It says any single structure, but the next result up is 10,000 square feet. Would it be realistic for me to treat the village as a single structure since I have 10,000 feet?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The only caveat to that is,
Yeah.
that's basically here. It's not the far side of town. But yeah,
Okay.
most of the town.
I'm
that's
fine
a
with
trading post called Wicklow House, which is kind of like an old stock.
Yeah, that's not part of the town.
And basically the entire town's populace is just in the inn right now, right?
Well, the Florin was going to head off to the Sacred Grove,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
most of them.
Yeah, most of them.
Right.
In any case, doors and windows are magically sealed, so if those attempt to be opened, it takes a DC 20 picklocks check or a password. I am going to say that the password is Cesricon Wills It, of course. The lesser doors and windows are treated as iron for purposes of destruction, so 60 HP on the structures. And I can declare 8 of those portals trapped. For a D24 plus cast level, in this case 4 fire damage. So I'm gonna say keep door, in front door. Is there 4 other buildings that seem
Why are
pretty
you defending
important?
the keep? Those guys are assholes.
The lady went in there that we need. The important lady, the red hair.
The guy who runs it is a great warrior.
Yeah.
I don't care too much about that, but the girl with the red hair seems important, and she's in there. If I don't know any other important buildings, I would just pick 4 other random doors.
Fabulous. This right here is the Chapel of the Warrior Pope.
That one.
Okay. Got that. That's only got 1 door. I should say the Darling Damsel Inn has 2 doors. It has a
We'll
back door.
spend another door on that.
All right. So all the doors in the Darling Damsel Inn, the
Yep.
keep, the chapel, and we got Wicklow House. We got the farm for the Thistledown family.
Yeah, sure, those 2.
Okay. Well, you couldn't do Wicklow House. That's
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
we're doing one, and you could protect his friend Bjorngar Fuller's Rutabaga farm.
Yeah, sure.
Farm.
Sure. And then I got one more door.
That-
So just somewhere.
Okay, we're gonna do the blacksmith, which is across the street.
Yeah.
from the Darling
And
Damsel.
then I get 4 pit traps that teleport victims to an oubliette 100 miles distant. And a troop of 50 suits of animated armor that treat as skeletons that cannot be turned.
Oh.
I'm going to place 1 pit trap on each road
Okay.
ahead of these creatures, obviously. So hopefully, I'm guessing by the way they're walking herky jerky, I'm hoping they're mindless. They all
I'm just gonna watch all this.
walk into the thing. I mean, and then I'll just assign. I will assign 10 animated armor to each of us to command. So
it's 10 animated armor. How many in total?
50.
50. Okay.
50 suits of animated armor. That those should be treated as skeletons, so they're not very good. But there's 50 of them. So, and there's 10 for
This
each
is all
of us.
from one spell.
Yeah, I mean it's you have to roll a 32 to get it. The fact that I spell burned a goblin to like almost comatose levels. This goblin in front of us is probably like half dead. But he
That's out pretty.
yeah, he's got a
everywhere.
smile on his face.
I'm helping.
Yeah, he's helping. So that's the reason this spell got so crazy. If I'd rolled a 1, it still would have been catastrophically bad. I didn't roll a 1, so that's good. So
DCC spells, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
DCC
Wow.
spells.
this is what
All right.
happens when you get a wizard at level 4.
So trudging out of the forest come the 50 suits of animated armor as Senzergan wills it resounds over the western road. Does anybody do anything else? I mean, I mentioned one of the goblins got to pass us out. It goes limp in your hand.
Whoa.
The other one goes, that'll be golden. That was quite.
Yeah, he must have had quite a lot of wine.
I am going to have my suits combined together to make one mega suit.
Climb on top of each other.
Yeah, they're going to climb on top of each other, just holding swords like that.
So, I respect your vision. It's a blizzard. They're covered in armor. It's going to be mostly a comedic act. So they start slipping and sliding, at least 10 of them. Dagmar, what are you doing?
So I had a question. These things you said are made of wood.
Yes.
So like if we throw oil on them and light them on fire, probably wouldn't be good for them.
Probably wouldn't. Usually doesn't turn out great.
So that's what I'm working on because I've got one flask of oil and I've got my flint and steel and a torch.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to get some fire happening and just start trying
You
to.
do. So this first round, you actually get some fire happening. Woodsman, what are you doing?
I'm gonna ask the goblins. Hold on.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna ask. Do they know if these wooden soldiers are from another plane? And also, do they know if there's any way to dispel them?
So the goblin, who is still largely conscious, looks at the unconscious one and goes, "Do you know?" Notices Buddy, and he looks back up at you and he says, "No to both things. I mean, I'm not sure. Another plane? You mean like another realm of existence? Yes."
Yeah.
And then, what do we do, Dangon?
Yeah, I seem to have this in hand. Are we worried about Britta? I mean, I can go.
And remember the password, as Sezuo Khan wills it.
Oh,
Or-
of course. Should we?
As Scissor Khan will it.
Yes. Something.
Close enough.
Well, if there's 12 of these things, let's wait. But let's.
And you
That
haven't
was for mine.
long to wait. How big is the pit trap?
It says that the pit trap does not say. It takes a find trap DC 20 to find them, but it does not state how big they are.
I'm going to say it's 10 feet wide. That's a respectable size for a pit trap.
Yeah.
Not huge, not tiny.
Also of note, this I don't know if this is important at all, but
See.
in this sequestered area, so the town, we are immune to scrying, summoning, and teleportation, and we are alerted to any being entering the area. So if something sneaks in through the side, we will know.
You're gonna
We might not know what
busy
they are.
night, my friend.
I know we might, yeah, I figured we will, but
I will say that right now, the only thing that's entering that you're aware of are those marionette figures, two of which vanish when they step into the pit trap. All you all see is basically they're hobbling along, and all of a sudden it's just snow where they used to be. The others are moving around the sides, however, and they, contrary to what the goblins thought, do in fact engage you in combat. They've closed within range of you, so initiative rolls all around, please.
okay. Well, I think we'll be doing
19.
pretty good.
19, you said.
23.
14.
15.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And what was yours again?
19.
19, okay. And what was yours? Joe?
6.
6, all right.
I'm not a very decisive fellow.
A couple of wines, combat, okay.
Well, if we're gonna fight, I'm gonna drink the wine.
You're gonna fight.
I'm gonna drink the wine.
All right. Well, Dagor, you're always down to fight.
Yeah.
First in the row. So what do you do as these things start to move their sword hands towards you?
So, did I have to use the whole flask on the torch, or?
No, you didn't. We're gonna say you used about a third of the flask.
Okay, so if I just chuck that at one of the, that's what I want to do, is like kind of throw the flask, at least to maybe hit one or two of them, have it broke open,
Yeah.
and then when they get close enough, then I'm going to use my torch, hopefully try to light them on fire.
Okay, so basically
Kind of arranged,
throwing the flask.
yeah,
Okay.
and I don't know how that works.
You were going to give me an attack roll modified by your agility.
Ooh, that's not great.
And you're going to be using your D die as well.
Oh, D6, right?
Yes, D6. You're level 4 warrior.
Now, is that feats thing you're, that only does the melee attack?
And you're trying to shatter this thing with an oil flask.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to kind of get it so it sprays and hits a few of them so I can maybe light them on fire.
Got it.
I got a 13 and a 3.
All right, so 3 means that you were successful. It was a relatively conservative mighty deed, and so that means that the particular quick doll is what they're called. That quick doll and the ones adjacent to it are splashed in oil. Now, the one immediately adjacent to it vanished into the pit trap.
Right.
So we're going to say that 2 others were splashed. The one
Okay.
behind it and the one catty-cornered.
Gotcha, okay.
All right, so you got 3 quick dolls covered in oil. And that is your attack, and now we go to our friend Till.
How's my mech doing?
Your mech is going to assemble in, let's Yeah. Looks going to be about 2 hours.
About 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna.
And if it moves, it will probably fall over. But
Yeah, true. I am going to get closer to the group. What is the range of my longbow?
so your longbow's range, it works as short, medium, and long range. I think your short range on a longbow is like 70 feet. So.
70 feet.
But remember, you are at a slight disadvantage because you're firing into windy, snowy conditions.
Okay. I'm gonna take in the speed of the wind and shoot a bow at the group of goblins coming in.
At the quick dolls. At the
Quick dolls.
marionettes.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, very good. Loose away. So that's going to be 1d20 plus your agility. And I
D20
think
plus my.
thieves actually have an attack bonus as well. So you should take that into account.
For looks like it's for the longbow. It's a +5.
That sounds right to me.
For the agility, it's a +8.
So it will have figured in your agility as well into the grand total on your sheet. So if
Gotcha.
it says +5, that's probably going to be your level bonus plus your agility bonus already calculated.
Gotcha. Okay. It's gonna be 10.
Very good. So all in, it's a 10.
Yeah, +5. It's a 10.
Okay. So that is going to miss. You okay with that?
Can I? What's up?
You have the luck
You
die.
do have the luck dice.
You got lots of luck.
Might be a long
got
night,
luck.
but you got lots of luck. Yeah.
Might
I'm
be able to do it with one.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it with 1. What does that consider? Do I just roll again?
Yeah, roll a d6 and add that to it
Yep.
because your luck die is a d6.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
+3, so 13.
That's what it takes.
Hey,
There you go.
You
sick.
peg the thing, and
Lucky
that's going to
indeed.
be the damage on a longbow is, I believe, 1d6.
Yes. Okay. Sweet. 4.
And so with that, you peg one right above its painted eye that's kind of peeling off, and more paint molts away, but the thing keeps coming. Okay,
Okay.
you got it right through the head. And now we are over to the woodsman.
All right. I am going to try and cast Turn Unholy. Because it covers a lot of stuff, but I'm a little bit worried because these guys are like, wooden, and I'm a nature boy, so where is it? What does it say? Mundane animals, undead, demons, devils, monsters, lycanthropes, perversions of nature.
The broad purview.
Oh my god. That is a 14, which has a range of 30 feet. Are there even any within 30 feet of me?
There are, yes. They
Okay.
moved within melee range. It's already, it was just kind of
Okay.
talking as they were coming out.
Okay. And then I can supposedly turn 1d3 plus 4 hit dice worth of them
Yes.
away.
All right, let's see it. For they are indeed unholy.
Okay. 3, nice. So 7 hit dice worth.
Very good. Well, you watch as 2 of the marionettes wheel it out and start hooking it the other way.
Oh damn, these things have 3 hit dice.
That's beefy.
That's scary.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad I got the pit traps in
There
the
you go,
skeletons.
right?
I'm a little disappointed. I was expecting to see you
I would ask
turn
you-
it on hold.
Do you wish
Oh.
to turn the ones that are closest to you, which he's soaked in oil, or do you want to turn the other flank of them? Because the pit trap's kind of splitting their
Yeah,
forces.
I'll turn the ones that aren't soaked in oil.
Okay, so very good. So that far flank, it's your left flank, since you're looking at them, move away. And they start just head back the way they came.
Okay.
And that brings us to Swirl.
Okay. Commanding some of my armor, that's going to be an action die, right? Or can I do that just
no.
verbally? No?
Nope, that's not
okay,
an
then
action die.
I'll do that as just kind of like a verbal thing, go 10 of, or I'll send 5 of them just to keep a little retinue to protect me because I'm a little fleshy sorcerer who has no armor. So I'll send 5 over to that other flank, and then with my action die, I am going to cast Nithiel's Porcupine Coat, because once again, I'm a little fleshy wizard who has no armor, but
There you go.
that will be changed when I have this Porcupine Coat, hopefully.
That's the plan.
I'm not going to spell burn for this, and I probably should have. So that is 8, which I'm almost certain is a failure. Yeah.
8 all in all.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
That is a failure.
That is.
Spell is not lost, no corruption. So that's good. It's a
Just a little painful. For
yeah, I just lose my action.
That's something.
That I'll take it. I'll take it.
You're feeling kind of drained by all this. You've been
Yeah.
sort of center of the show, in the spotlight, Cedric and Wilson here and there. But now
I'm feeling I can take a little step back.
you are. You're also feeling like a wizard that's been standing in a blizzard for a few minutes.
Exactly.
I really need that coat. Okay.
I mean, St. Gygax's fire is keeping me a little. I can pretend to be warm.
There you go.
It looks warm,
It's an imaginary warmth, appropriately enough.
but
Yes.
it's yeah.
Your armored retinue does close around you. If you want, you can sort of step away from the rest of the script so that this armored soldiers are literally surrounding you, if you wish.
Yeah, I will. I'll have 5 with me, and 5 go to take care of the flank that's further back.
That's the one that's moving away, just to be sure. That's the one
They're
you're
going to be like ready to get the ones behind it, because there's ones behind it coming, right? Then they'll be ready for those.
Very good. All right. And so, let's see here. I'm going to roll some attacks. Those quick dolls. All right. So they start hacking away at the quick dolls. Splinters start flying. Snow and frost also scatter thereabouts, but not really slowing them down. Like they take off an arm after a few whacks, but the doll just keeps on coming. Which brings us to the quick dolls themselves. All right, so they are capable of closing with the front ranks. And though, because we haven't really expressed a marching order per se, I'll assume you're in the front rank. Who else would be sort of in the front rank?
I was right behind Dagar, so
Okay,
I'm right
so
there.
we've got Dagon, we've got Dangon, Woodsman, Till.
Kind of mid.
Yeah, I'd probably be a little bit behind the 2 in front.
Okay, fabulous. So it's mostly you two. Okay, very good. That means that, let's see, the oil-soaked quick dolls, 3 of them can attack you. The other ones were turned. That means only 1 can get to where you are, and that's actually going to inspire another attack of opportunity from the armored soldiers engaging them.
I forgot about my guys.
Okay. All right, so those armored soldiers have really knocked the crap out of that quick doll. Like, its head is coming apart, its arm is chopped to bits, it's got one leg kind of dangling, but it does reach you, and enough to try and attack you once. And your armor class was what?
17.
So it actually does, as quick as you are, it proves quicker. As its arm lifts up here, you get ready to dodge an upper attack, then all of a sudden it's jabbing you from below. And so you take a bit of a sword in the gut, and you take 7 damage. All right. Now, as to
That's a tough hit.
that is a tough hit for a young thief. All right, Dagar.
I'm drinking wine, the jerk.
What's your armor class?
13, it looks like.
Okay. Okay, so the 3 of them mob you. You're good at deflecting attacks, and so your weapon is up and ready and beating them away, but they are better at surrounding you, and those blades are coming from everywhere. You take a pretty nasty gash on the arm, another one on the side. Let's see how they do. So you take, all told, 17 damage.
Then I am at -1.
Oh dear. Down goes the warrior then. Okay. And so the way we do this, the good news is that in DCC you're not dead. What happens is that they being the rest of the players, your level in terms of rounds to roll the body, to check to see if you're still alive. You will roll a luck check when that happens, and if it succeeds, you are indeed still alive. You're going to suffer some penalties, you're going to take a point of your physical stats, but you'll be back in the action.
Okay.
All right. Now, meanwhile, we go to Dangon.
Okay. I don't know how much of an action it takes mechanically, but
Yes.
I'm going to motion for my retinue of skeletal soldiers.
It takes nothing, basically.
Okay.
It is a bonus action, as they say in other systems. In this case, it is a voice action.
Protect the fallen, and I have them shield Dagar.
Very good.
Finish the wine and throw the bottle at throw the. Because I've been drinking the wine's what I was going to do, so
Yes.
I'm gonna do that. If I have an action left, I'm gonna engage this thing, but I'm gonna finish the wine and throw the glass at it, or throw the goblet at it.
You can indeed take an action. Hurling a ready flask of wine that's going to do pretty much no damage whatsoever. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Yes.
And just basically be defensive until I get the action to attack it.
Very good. Well, the armored suits try and engage the quick dolls. They manage to chop one of them pretty badly, just knock it down, but otherwise they're kind of engaged around our fallen friend. You can give me an attack roll in order to, as you say, engage.
Okay. Looks
And
like,
this is the one that's dilapidated.
okay. For melee, I've got a +2, it looks like. So that's 9. Let me throw. We'll start with 1 luck die. I'm probably going to need more than that. I'm going to do 2 luck dice. So that's 12,
Yep, keep it going.
14.
Okay, 14 will do it. So you managed to hit it. What weapon are you using?
It's just a piece of iron pipe. It's a truncheon. Just a
Okay,
metal truncheon.
very good. So that does 1d4 plus your strength modifier and damage.
1.
Okay, so you give it a pretty good whack, and you bash away what's left of its head. So it's got no head now, but it's still coming towards you in these marionette pieces. Which brings us back to the top of the round. I will say that in terms of the one goblin spectator who's still in this, he just kind of is taking it all in. He's really confused as to why his friends are fighting, and it's just kind of this, like expression as he, has lost his wine. He can't really do anything. He just kind of drinks one of the cups, and that's that. We go back to the top with Dagor. You have fallen. Nobody's rolled your body yet, but they got 4 rounds to do so. Till, what do you do?
How far spread apart are the group I was shooting my arrow at?
So they're 10 feet apart on the other, moving around the pit trap. The ones that are in front of you are 4 in a line.
4 in a
So I
line.
guess closest one's 4 in a line is the answer.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to use the pole that I have to slash and trip them.
All right.
I don't know what roll that is because it's just an item I have.
So it's going to be a standard melee attack roll, which is going to be your attack bonus plus your strength bonus. So what, pray tell, was your agility bonus?
Agility is +3.
Okay, so we deduct that from that +5 that you got from the longbow. That tells us you have a +2 attack bonus. So it's going to be +2 plus whatever your strength modifier is.
Okay, so +2, so +4.
+4 in all. So you're going to be rolling 1d20 +4. Now, if you succeed in this, I'm going to give you sort of an opposed check against tripping one of the dolls.
19.
Oh, well, that most definitely hits. And I'm going to have the quick doll roll against that, and it goes spilling to the ground. And so down goes the quick doll. It's prone. It needs to spend its action getting back up. So you moved forward to engage this. Are you engaging the ones that are in front of his fallen body, or again near your friend Dango?
In front of the falling body.
Okay, so you're with those armored soldiers standing against the blizzard, knocking down a doll. There are 3 more that are upright in your area, 2 of which seem interested in you. The other quick dolls are kind of moving around the sides of the road to get behind this blockade that you've created.
Okay.
But now we go to the woodsman.
I can reach his body,
You
right?
can, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna trudge over and lay on hands.
Brilliant.
Ooh.
It's,
Yeah, I got a 9, and I need at least a 12. So
Is that one of your sets of dice too?
Nazis.
Okay.
sorry. That's my turn.
All right. So, as the winds howl mournfully, you try and summon forth nature's assistance, and yet nature holds back for now. It is winter, stingy season. And so, your friend is still fallen for now. We go to Swirl.
Okay, Edor Swirl will, I'm gonna command the 5 that I have attacking those, quick dolls. I'm gonna tell them, you know, the slashing isn't cutting it. Can you guys try pushing them into the pit next to you? And then with my action die, I'm gonna try casting that spell again in the hopes that I will have some armor. Because right now I have no armor.
Right.
Because I'm a little fleshy. 13 plus 6, that is definitively... And that wine, you said that was a plus +2 to, you said spellburn?
Yes, to your spellburn check. So when you roll to see what says the campaign.
Okay. That's good to work. Okay. In any case, 19.
All right.
So I erupt in stiff, sharp quills that provide a +1 bonus to my AC. They do not inhabit my spell casting, and anyone that attacks me needs to make a reflex save or suffer some damage.
All right.
So I'll take it. It's not amazing, but it is something that I can use.
Forest of quills erupts from your spongy substance, and you are well guarded behind your steely guard. So you have several layers of defense right now, and you've also commanded an offense. So let's see how your 5 soldiers do and pushing the quick dolls, which are not terribly strong, but are rather quick, into the pit.
Let's hope. Because if they push them in, they're just gone.
All right. So pop, pop, pop. No less than 5 of the quick dolls vanish as they are shoved by those things into the pit. You have seriously cut down on the ranks. I mentioned that there were 12 at the outset, 2 into the pit initially. 1 is almost in pieces in front of you, and that means that there are only about 2 left. The ones that are engaged currently with the armored soldiers in front of our fallen friend. We now go to them. So they are going to, not terribly bright, try and just hack their way through the barrier to get at Dagor. Chop him into bits. Meanwhile, the one that's on you is going to try and engage as well. So first on the fallen soldiers, and now on Joe. What was your armor class?
17.
All right. So they do indeed manage to stab you yet again, and you take 8 damage.
Okay. Down.
Oh, and down goes Valiant Tangan.
Did the wine do anything when I chugged it?
What's that?
Did the wine do anything when I drank it?
Oh yes, that's right. The wine. Give me a fortitude save.
Straight up time. 6.
All right. So the wine doubles your luck points.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's really
For the
good.
next, let's see here, 5 turns. So for the next 50 minutes.
7. Oh, 50 minutes? Okay.
Right. Very good. We'll see if that luck holds out as they roll your body later. Hopefully. But now we go to the top of the round again. Dagor, you are still fallen. We got 3 rounds left to roll you, and we go to Till.
I am going to aim for the cryptol that is currently attempting to kill him.
One. Yeah, right.
Aim for the center of its chest and release my arrow.
Fabulous. Let's do it.
Oh, sorry.
Let me just...
19.
That's
And again,
definitely a hit.
Jesus Christ, I can't roll anything with under.
All right. So this one's pretty broken up. Are you going to roll your damage, no luck added to it?
No luck added to it.
Right.
I'm going pure straight.
Doing it raw. All right.
Doing it raw. 5.
Oh, and 5 is enough. As the arrow flies through the air, there's this brief hiss, and it slams into the center of the shattered doll, and the doll doesn't just fall to pieces, it literally explodes. Wood shrapnel goes all over the blade, pieces of sharp metal. Go ahead and roll a reflex save.
down.
Friend.
No, he's down.
Oh, I'm unconscious.
Yes.
Okay. 18.
All right. So even unconscious, you have the luck of your profession as shrapnel scatters all over the place. The armored soldier next to the quick doll is not so lucky.
I knew it would blow up, but I knew.
And it kind of like falls over onto the snow with its armor full of these sharp pieces of wood. Fortunately, some of that wood goes in the pit trap. So it goes to hit somebody in some other dimension. That you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, about 100 miles away.
There are 2 quick dolls left, and we now go to the woodsman.
I'm going to try laying on hands again.
See it.
Oh my, it's another 8. Wait. Oh wait, I think, is that more? Yeah, that's more than I rolled that time. So, okay, I actually get to heal you this time.
Watch use the other one.
Okay. Is,
I told you some of these dice are unlucky.
You gotta look at
yeah, that's a
look out
D.
for them.
D14. I need a D. That's another D14. Yeah. Where the heck do I not have a D12? I have like 3 D14s. Here's one.
Good save.
9. So you heal 9 hit points.
Oh, awesome. I'm almost back up.
Test the roll on that.
Over half, anyways. Puts me to 8.
But you are above 0, right?
Yeah, that puts me to 8 of
Okay,
16.
and so kneeling in the snow on the frozen soil of the road, you demand that nature help your brave friend. And sure enough, just like wet soil smoothing together in the spring, your wounds close to an extent. And once again, you gasp that frosty air, and you're back. We now go to Swirl.
Okay, well, now that I have armor on,
Yes.
before I, there's only one left, so I'm wondering
There are
if
two,
I
left, actually.
Okay, there's 2. Yeah, okay, 2 left. Honestly, I'm gonna look at my little goblin buddy. You got any more of that wine?
He starts patting it. He goes, "Oh, of course I do."
Okay, pour me a glass, and I'll have the retinue of armor continue taking care, just trying to push those 2 into that hole, which they're still fighting around the hole. So
All right, he starts pouring you a glass.
yeah, I could go for some more wine.
And you basically have the remaining soldiers just knock the crap out of it. Or you push them in the hole.
Yeah, push him in the hole.
Okay, push them in the hole.
I mean, I saw that explosion. I didn't know about the explosion before, but now I definitely want them in the hole and not like beat to pieces. Because I don't like that explosion.
Well, the quick dolls might be slow learners, but they've cottoned to the idea of being pushed in the hole, and so they're kind of evading your soldiers. However, your soldiers are encircling them, and so the quick dolls are going to hack their way free.
That's better. I'll take it.
All right, very good. So
Whatever
the
I can
doing the
get.
hacking, not so great. One of them manages to hit your armored soldier. He slays one of them. Basically, one of your armored soldiers battered into scrap metal and pieces of
Well, I mean, still got 48 other ones.
frosty bone. Yes, exactly. Exactly. 48 to go. And now we go over. Dagon, you have evaded being further injured, but you are injured enough so that you're still down in the snow. And the woodsman has yet to come to your aid. So we go back to the top of the round with Dagor.
Okay. So, not cool, quick dolls. I'm going to get up in a range. There's a couple near me, right?
They're on the other side of a big wall of armored soldiers.
Oh, so they're kind of taken to right now?
Yeah.
Now, you said that this rolling thing, you don't have to be like a healer or anything, but I can run over to help.
Dan.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to do that. Whatever I can do to help Dan.
So your first thought is red, and then you look and see the situation well in hand. So you rush over and you flip Dagon over where the ground around him is full of these quills of shattered wood. Let's see if he's still alive.
What do I roll?
Oh, a luck check.
Okay. Well, my luck is currently, including the 2 I've spent, at 20.
Okay, then.
Yay, goblin wine.
So as long as you don't roll a 20.
Which I did when I test rolled the battle.
So what happened?
It was the first roll on this one.
Can confirm.
6.
Not a 20. And so you turn him over and Dagon, your eyes open. You see the jolly visage of Dagor there.
Are they gone? And then I hear all the commotion.
Yep.
Can I give him one of my apples?
You may.
This will make you feel better.
Okay, I take the apple.
Okay.
Confused, but
You have a rather good-looking apple in your hand.
the bad guys are surrounded by armored skeletons or armored.
There's 2 left,
soldiers, so
yeah,
I'm just
surrounded by
gonna-
all the armored dudes.
I'll get up and get defensive and eat the apple.
Okay, so you quickly get to your feet. Phil, what do you do? Again, we have that whole wall of armored soldiers around the remaining 2 quick dolls, but that doesn't mean you can't shoot them.
I'm gonna find, as the armor is moving past, I'm gonna find the hole or a hole to shoot an arrow through.
Let's see it. So I want it to happen. In a blizzard, snow blasting in your face, wind tossing all around. You're gonna find that hole, man.
You will.
You see what they
You
don't
will
know
write
is,
your own songs of your own deeds.
yes, I've lived in treacherous weather my whole life. This is how I trained
McLeod weather.
for a 10. And I use the
Get a high roll.
Yeah. Luck.
and I roll a luck die to get a
Okay.
12.
Almost right there yet.
As I use a
See, this is what playing a thief is all about.
yeah,
This is the thief.
I'm stealing fate.
Yeah.
So roll a 16.
Fabulous. That's a hit.
Yes. It only took 3 luck dice.
There you go. Well worth it to roll that d6.
Oh wait, to roll that. All right, that's a good idea to roll. To get a 6.
Yay!
Fabulous. All right. Well, that is enough to hit one of the battered dolls. And again, he explodes theatrically.
Just as I planned.
Excellent.
Destroying our army.
Yes. Not 1, not 2, but all 6. No, because there's pit on one side. All 5 of the armored soldiers go down with little pieces of shrapnel stuck in them.
It needed
they
to
hurt
happen.
each other
It's
since they were
necessary.
hurtled?
That is
were
true.
huddled? Okay.
Yes. So some of the splinters go into the quick doll as well. The remaining one. But you got that one. Dang on. Actually, no. I'm so sorry. Got so excited jumping to the end of the round. Woodsman.
You have an apple.
The statement.
You have
Just
an
need to
apple.
catch my breath.
So
rare
there's just
treat in
one
winter.
quick doll left.
You want to kind of survey the battle then? Or just do a head count, as it were?
Yeah, I mean,
It won't cost you an action. I won't do that.
Yeah.
So you look around. What you see is you see him surrounded by a bunch of armored soldiers having a drink with the goblin who's pouring some wine and smiling ear to ear. You see that the armored soldier that was knocked down on the far side of the road, the first one to get hit with shrapnel, is getting back up, and you see sort of the wood is turning into a doll within the armored form. And you see the one quick doll still within that crowd of
bad
knocked over armored soldiers. He's
Potentially
kind of
bad.
stepping over them, and he's going to be heading towards that guy.
That was an interesting detail, wasn't it?
Detail.
That's potentially
Wait a minute.
really bad.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I think I know where these soldiers came from.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna try and cast Turn Unholy again.
Let's do it.
12, nice. That is a 17. And I got it wrong. They can make a will save against my Turn Unholy roll. So, but first I get to turn. Oh, 3 again. 7 hit dice worth, and they get a save. They each get a save against DC 17 will save.
Okay. Well, they leave. And by they, I mean the one intact original quick doll, as well as the one that was forming in the armored soldier. So as soon as that thing rocks onto its feet, it turns around and starts heading back towards the west.
Okay.
We now go to Swirl.
Okay, well,
Goblin pal.
yeah, I've got a goblin pal, and the quick dolls are all gone. Has my sequester alerted me to anybody entering our village?
Okay. Not yet. Is the answer.
Okay. Well, I mean, I figured the answer had a yet on the end, but not right now. So I'll drink some wine with my goblin pal, and I'll suggest that more of the more village inclined folk maybe tell everybody else what's going on, because they're probably like banging on the walls like, let us out of here, but they're safer there anyways, so
Okay. So in that round, you kind of open your mind to the cosmic intricacies. You feel safe here. So it's safe to knock back some wine. You drink that wine, though you don't get any other benefits other than that delicious mold taste of fine goblin wine. You and your buddy share a drink, and he says to you before he invites, he goes, "As Cedric hand wheels it." He drinks
Of course.
it, and then he bursts into flames. He starts screaming for a moment. What do you do?
fire look like it's magic.
Yes, and then he explodes.
Okay.
Now you're not hurt. You're sort of covered with flaming bits of ashy goblin, but he's gone.
Okay, and the other goblin's still like taking
He's
a nap.
passed out. Yeah.
He's still taking
He's
a
kind of
nap.
like laying on the ground.
Okay, I mean, I got a backpack with not a lot in it. Can I like just put him in the backpack?
You sure can.
Okay, yeah, I mean he's my buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I mean,
So you have a drink and then you start putting a goblin in the backpack. That's a good round for me. All right.
Puts the goblin in the bag.
Now for the quick dolls. So, there's only one left, and he's going to try and foolishly just try and cut through his way to get to you, which he fails doing. He just starts banging his sword hand against the plate's armor of the armored soldier, and nothing's happening right there. And we go to Dangon.
Okay. I'm gonna just be eating the apple.
All right.
You ran them off? How long does that last? Do they come back?
Oh,
I'm just gonna eat the apple.
Right.
Everything's in hand. I've already been beat to crap. I'm just gonna eat the apple and like. So are they gone, or are they gonna be back?
They continue to flee for 3d10 minutes. It says.
So gone-ish. You may as well roll that d10 to see how long those minutes are. As for you, Dangon, you bite into the apple and you realize that you may have almost died, but now you're truly living. That is an amazing apple. The crunch, the juice, the taste, it's all perfect. You start immediately thinking about ways to use this apple in various capacities in your life, perhaps a scent or a potpourri or a cider or something like that. You feel wonderful. And in fact, you get 4 of your hit dice back. So roll 4d, I believe for Steve it's 6.
Yeah, 46.
Okay. 14. Fully healed.
Fully healed and all right. Hayward.
Well, I am half dead, so I am going to take out one of my 3 remaining apples, and I'm going to go ahead and charge up a little bit and survey the area, kind of keeping my head on a swivel, kind of had my first chance to really kind of see what's going on since I kind of came to and helping him. So I wanted to take a quick look and see if there's any immediate danger while I'm eating my apple.
Fabulous. Well, through that sleeting screen of snow upon snow, you can see the armored skeletons that were brought down by the exploding quick dolls start to have the wood of the quick dolls sinking into them, and you can see that they're moving around a little bit, starting to stir as the pieces start to form quick dolls in their armor. Crap. That's it?
Can I
Eating
start?
an apple?
Yeah, I'm beating the apple.
D12 then.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I don't need to describe. You know how good these apples taste.
4, 6, that sucks. I'm going to go over here. Here we go. Oh, that's
Amazing. Have you tried these?
15. And 7 is 22. Oh, I'm back, all the way back up.
What do you know? All right. Now we go to.
You said there's still one more left.
Yes.
Okay.
Oak Breaker or Quick Dolls.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
Is the goblin still on fire?
No, he blew up.
he's gone.
He was on fire for like
He's just a
3
pair of
seconds.
ankles on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's no longer
Yes,
anywhere near
two
us.
pair of smoldering shoes.
All right. I'm gonna call upon the teachers that have taught me the way of precision. Find the last quick doll through this horrific weather
Fabulous.
and aim for the heart again.
Very good. Aim for the heart.
And let's go.
What could go wrong?
Everybody duck.
It's a 24.
Well, that's most definitely it. Is that a critical?
It was 18
No.
natural,
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
So that's a no.
19 natural.
So you can.
19.
Yeah. And then I get 1.
Through the air, through the fray, through the snow, bam, right into the ear of the quick doll, which chips it off, and the ear goes flying off. It falls into the pit trap, but the arrow is kind of lodged at a weird angle on the thing's head, almost like a decorative element.
And I'm gonna scream at it. And that's a threat.
Let that be a warning.
You don't want the next turn.
Yeah.
All right. And now we are on to the woodsman.
I am gonna start. I mean, I'm gonna order my armor to do the same, I guess. I'm just gonna start pushing the like squirming suits of armor into the pit.
Okay, so you and your suits of armor are pushing the squirming armor into the pit.
The ones with the thorns, yeah.
Very good. Well, as fate would have it, there are 6 sides to that pit. The diagonal sides and 8 sides. So that's more than enough for your retinue of 10 armored soldiers to push them into the pit and make them vanish before they can cause any more harm. And so, poof, 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 they all vanish.
Okay, awesome.
And the day, for now, is saved. We don't know what Till's going to do next, so we'll see. All right. Now, there is one intact quick doll left. That's the one engaged with his row of soldiers, just so you know. Do you want
Okay.
to try and hurl that one in there as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. In it goes, and so you polish off the quick dolls. The others are fleeing, and you are out of combat.
Great.
Those are terrible. Where do those come from?
Places?
I think we need to get back to town. People are probably losing their minds right now.
Should probably ask the head druid what the hell's going on, and also get Britta back.
Yeah, yeah. That sounds good. I mean, did that goblin have any more wine on him? Unconscious one?
He most definitely does.
Okay.
Yes. Do you, you root around his oil?
Yeah, I'll pour it all into my flask. You know, I'll be drinking that throughout the night.
So as you're collecting wine, it's almost like in Aliens. There's that beep on the edge of town. Something just came in right over here. And then something over here.
Okay.
And then something over there. And so all told, as the senses of all these creatures are coming in, you have, let's see here, let's do a head count.
Yeah, we gotta run.
From here, there are 49 beeps. From here, there are 49 beeps. And from down here, there are 3 beeps.
Let's go there.
3.
Well, that feels like that's where the important things are, or the sneaky and very important things are. So, yeah, that's
Does your radar do this? Like, is it 49 of these and 3 of these, or?
No, we know of beings enter the village. That does extend to the caster and all allies, though. So all of us get those pings.
Yeah, you all start to feel very uneasy,
okay.
especially when it comes to these areas of town.
Shouldn't the militia and keep know what's happening? Maybe
Yeah, we should probably let them know.
That
Yeah,
seems
we
like a lot.
should all let them know.
Running to the keep. Running to the keep.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, maybe do a little bit of a split up so we can inform the important people. Why the doors are closed and where the traps are, and also that there is all told about 102 enemies in the village.
Till. I nominate Till. Till, run to the inn and explain what's happening.
Yes. Before I do that, is there some sort of not lighter fluid, because that's not a thing in fantasy, but some sort of oil or something like that that I can dip my arrows into?
There most definitely is, but do you have that on your inventory sheet?
I do, if you want to take some from me, because I am using magic. Okay.
Yes.
You can take my flask of oil.
Thank you. Do you have something to light it with?
I have a flint and steel, but that's probably not amazing, but it's something.
I'm going to attempt to shoot a light at all 3 directions using 3 of my arrows so we can better see what's happening.
Okay, very good. I will note, though I love the spirit of your idea, you can sense that those beeps were coming in quite on the edge of town. So you could launch an arrow in that direction. Your visibility is only about 80 feet. So you would not be able, you'd see the arrow arc away and then vanish into the blizzard.
Okay.
Or over the buildings,
Yeah,
realistically. I mean,
precisely.
the buildings, yeah.
By now, the number of beeps have increased up here. Whatever's there is moving slow, but now instead of only 3, there are 7.
Oh, let's get going.
I'm running, sprinting to the keep. So I can let
Yeah.
people know.
I'm gonna.
Keep as well.
Keep, sprint to keep, keep, sprint to keep.
I want to go to the keep, but I want to go to the grove on the way there.
So the grove is here, and the keep is here.
Then I'll go with the grove.
Okay, so you're going to break away from the party and go to the grove.
Do you mind stopping by the inn and just like, Cesar Conwell said, everybody stay here, and then move on? I mean, any
I
of
don't
us
really
could
care.
do it, but like
Whether
Sorry to interrupt. Before he does that, I'm gonna go to the innkeep and request his aid, because I can tell from his backstory and his wonderful tales that he is a mighty warrior.
Very good. So you're going to the inn.
I'll go to the grove.
You're going to go directly to the grove. Okay, very good. So we're having a bit of a split party situation. May I have a time check?
It's 3:30.
Okay. Very good. Let us put a pin in things for now. And let us actually no. Do we have time enough to do a little bit more? Can we close out those 30 minutes, or are we in a filming situation? Must we take a break?
We should probably take a short break if we're going to continue.
Let us take a short break, because what I would love to do is close out with the action in the grove.
Okay.
Okay.
That goes.
Yeah. Let's do that. So let's take a short 3 to 5 minute break, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
My first potty break.
And welcome back for the final part of part 1 of Feast of the Goblin Winter. As promised in the Goblin Holiday Bundle, this and Hunters of the Goblin Grove are multi-session adventures, and so we will be returning at a later date to conclude the story of what happens to Thorpe on this perhaps unfortunate, perhaps fortunate Yule night. But for now, we go to the action around the Sacred Grove as Phil's character, the Woodsman, is rushing towards it. I will describe what you see as you cut off the beaten path and head instead towards the trail through the oak trees that lead to the Sacred Grove. There, among the barren apple tree branches, stripped by winter, chitter and clack in the whirling winter winds above trampled snow of a well-trafficked meadow. These trees form 3 concentric circles, spaced 30 feet apart. Their roots wet and steaming with freshly poured hot apple cider. Each gap between the trees is screened by a frosty red ribbon and tinkling bells. Set before a granite altar in the center of the meadow, brimming with humble offerings, a large Yule log is burning high despite the thousands of gelid kisses of the snowfall. This is an area familiar to you, the Woodsman. You've been here a number of times, and you've been here, much like the other worshippers, to venerate this space. Right now, you see about 32 of the people of Thorpe, all of whom are the most devout, shall we say, in their worship of the triune nature gods. Among them, Uhtred Thorn, your friend, his face still painted black on one half, white on the other. And their eyes light up as they see you. It's as if you're there to save them from some menace. What do?
You wouldn't. Have you seen any wooden men by any chance?
Quickly! Woodsman, come! It's not safe! There's
Okay.
sounds of commotion!
All right.
Enter our sanctuary!
Yeah, I'll go over. Has anything happened besides just hearing commotion?
You step over the steaming puddles of cider. You make your way under the frosty, frigid ribbon, and you close with Thorn hearing him answer, yes. There was the sounds of what sounded to be a cracking wood, like exploding wood on the west wall. And then there was this terrible scream and a sound like a fire starting. But then it was very rapidly over. On the north, we have heard nothing, but on the east, our people on the distant houses seem to be crying out for help. And similarly to the south, and just as he says that, you hear from the southern road people saying, help, help.
Okay. The goblins have somehow, at least according to them, summoned the wrath of, what did they call it? The Horde
Hoary Host, or the Winter Horde.
Okay, of the Winter Horde. There are 49, I'll just tell them what I know, basically 49 in the west, 49 south, more coming north. Do you, do you know any rituals that could help or anything?
People looked pale before you said this. Now they seem shaped of snow, absolutely terrified by your report of all these horrible threats converging on their town. Thorn shakes his head. He says, I've done what I could. I've cast sanctuary here, but no, we're not a military people. Perhaps those in the keep can help, as much as I hate their presence here. It's then that you hear something. The sound of crunching footsteps coming from the south side of the grove, Woodsman.
Can I see anything?
You look towards there, and there you see, walking towards the ribbons, ring the gaps in the oak trees, 3 figures. One of them seems to be dressed in these rich raiments that are covered with frost, as if these kingly robes that are coated with patina of ice. Next to him is a larger figure. He's wearing a lion pelt across his chest. Otherwise, his strapping, corpse-like body is entirely bare from the waist up. And he has a mantle of mistletoe and briars, like a crown coming down off of his head. Mm-hmm. Next to them is the most modest of the companions, he seems to be wearing a pauper's garb, this shabby, tattered tunic, and these loose skirts that are pitted in some places and mended in others, all of them covered with ice, all of them walking towards you. And as they do, they walk right into the ribbon and simply snap it as if it wasn't there, as if it meant nothing. They're about 30 feet away.
This is a holy place. Explain yourself or be destroyed.
Right. The shabby one lifts his hand and starts whispering something. The kingly one on the other side, he starts whispering something as well. Both of his hands lift like claws. And the one with the lion pelt reaches behind him and takes out a double-headed axe.
Oh my
Its
god.
blade's kind of like the moon. Let us all roll initiative.
Wait.
I got a 7.
All right. They got a 9.
Scary.
Okay. What is your armor class again?
Me?
Yeah.
21.
Okay. Okay. Last but not least. All right. So I need to just look up one thing, but I can say that the one with double-headed bladed axe hurls that axe at you, and you try to duck out of the way. You fail in doing so, but it glances off the scorpion hide on your shoulder and goes hurtling into the sky, only to come back towards the guy's hand.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile,
Nah. Cool.
You nearly gave me a buzz cut.
Oops. Oh boy.
okay.
That's a situation.
Yeah. Hopefully Cedricon saves you.
It is the kingly one waving his hands about in a mystical way that might worry you, but that one, that pauper who simply lifted his hand, he goes like this, and then all of a sudden this beam of darkness strikes you. Just like the night itself swatted you like a mosquito, and you take 6 damage.
Oh,
Oof. Okay. Well, I'm at 3.
Can you give me a fortitude save?
This is the scary part.
Oh my god. Okay. 11.
11. All right, so that's all in 11.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that 11?
Should have used the other dice.
Yeah. Man, I only have 8 luck.
I'll tell you right now, Phil, you're not happy with that 11. I know you're not happy with that 8 luck.
We know
we
you're
hope
not
to see you
happy
next
with the
time.
11.
All right. I'll sacrifice 4 luck.
All right, that is enough that you were not stunned by this bolt from the blue or the black, as the case may be. Seeing the champion of the wilderness struck so summarily with just the wave of a hand, the worshippers all scream in terror, and even Uhtred Thorn takes a step back, confidence just shattered and falling from his face. What do you do in your turn?
Well, it seems like these guys are about to kill me and then everyone else. So I'm going to use Divine Aid because, which I think, hopefully being in this sacred grove further empowers that magic. So I'm just, I don't know if you,
It may.
do you, should I say like something more specific or is just like,
You need to tell me what you're asking the deity to do. That'll determine the DC if you're divine.
okay. Yeah, I just want anything that will help me against these guys.
Maybe,
Yeah, can I just say like smite them or like bind them or something?
maybe bring us to safety. That feels pretty good.
Or teleport them away or something? I don't know.
You choose. I will say that smite them is about a 15 in terms of DC. The bind them is going to be a 17. The teleport them away, not really nature's thing. That's going to be like a 24. You have to
Okay.
roll pretty much in that. Like a 19.
about like a stun.
You can also think about what they are and what they're not going to like. They're clearly a winter host of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll raise heat.
I'm going to try and bind them with roots and then ignite the roots.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a 17 is what you need.
Okay, let me not use that die.
Use a good one. Pick lucky.
You gotta
Alright.
have a die jail in here somewhere.
I do.
God, if only we had a halfling. Halflings are so
You're right.
useful.
Yeah. Only we had a halfling.
Oh my god. I rolled a 3.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and that gives me a +10 to all my further disapproval, so I kind of can't cast spells anymore.
It does, but there's an upside to it, which I will reveal momentarily. So you, realizing the desperation of the situation, say, "This is Yule. This is our season. This is our grove. This will not happen." And you call upon the forces of nature, and you see, "Bind them and burn the roots." And you feel winter get colder still. Colder not because of the presence of these creatures, but colder because your own deity is unhappy. Unhappy because the Lord of Misrule is owed to them, has not been rendered. And so you have that distinct impression that not only did your magic fail because your deity wasn't part of this, it also shows that your deity's disapproval is that that Lord of Misrule must be found and must be given over. Now,
Okay.
given that you've done your action, you can still move or do a bonus action.
We have a lot of safe places in town. The Grove does not seem to be one.
Yeah, well, aren't they, is there like another exit that doesn't have these guys in
Oh
between?
yeah, they just walked through the trees. You came the polite route
Okay.
down a trail.
I'm gonna run as far as I can and tell the villagers to do the same. If they haven't already gotten the hint.
And so run as far as you can is what you say as you run as far as you can. Right off to the north. The villagers start to turn. Do you want to look back and see their fate?
You're gonna want it. You're not gonna want to see it. But
Yeah,
no.
I'm gonna look back.
It's then that the kingly one dressed in rich raiments and fine robes, turns his attention, his twisting hands to the crowd. And they try and do what you said. They try and turn and run, but then roots launch from the frozen ground and like iron manacles grab their legs and hold the people in place. And they reach towards you and they go, "Woodsman!" As they're bound like sacrifices in the 3 Kings of Winter closes. And we will leave it there. Thank you so much. I hope that you return next time, and I certainly urge you to explore this and many of the other wonders in the Goblin Holiday Bundle. A plethora of world-building tables, a robust adventure, and I'd like to think some decent writing. Give me some feedback. Tell me what you think. Thanks so much. Thanks to Mythical Family. Again, it's Goblin Holiday Bundle, available on Kickstarter, and it's going to be running until December 11th. So the clock is ticking in these last 2 weeks. We hope to get your backing. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll keep you posted on what's coming up. Again, check out the Kickstarter. Check out WitchPleas' site with its other publications that are already there. And we will see you again soon. And like I always say, take care of each other because we're all we've got.